initial thoughts right now. I, I'm at a loss of words, which is not very common for me. Uh, I'm I'm incredibly sad. I'm incredibly shocked about what's happened with Charlie Kirk. Initially, I was very angry, incredibly angry, and I still am. I'm very angry, and I'm going to be talking about this more tonight on the live stream. I'm planning to be with the Liberty First Foundation, and the panel will talk about this. We've all been talking about this. In fact, I've been talking since the shooting first happened. I've been talking with political commentators and politicians and candidates across the country about what this could mean for all of us and our nation. And a lot of people are in shock. A lot of us are fearful of what could happen to us, what could happen to our families and friends, what could happen to our nation because of what this psychotic maniac, whomever it was, did this. And we're assured it's unlike MSNBC or MS Now, whatever the hell they call themselves. It wasn't a Charlie Kirk supporter shooting off a shot in celebration. Please stop with the spin. And it wasn't because of Donald Trump. Please, J.B. Pritzker, stop with your constant campaigning for the 2028 presidential election. Please, that's not what this nation needs right now. And I'm so sick of people who are doing that, trying to put the spin out there for the political gain. Look, you didn't have to like Charlie Kirk. You could have disagreed with him fundamentally on everything he ever said. He was an American who spoke about the First. He used his First Amendment right to speak about issues he felt strongly about, that he believed in. Whether you did or didn't, that's up to you. He didn't try to force you to believe what he believed. He didn't try and force you to live his life. He just told you what he thought and why he thought it. And he gave you the data as well as the emotion on why he felt the way he did. My God, isn't that what we're all supposed to do in America? That's what the First Amendment is for. And whether you're on the left, the right, center, independent, I don't care. Isn't that what we're all supposed to do? And some maniac decided that he wanted to shoot him dead just because he did something so simple as speak up, to say something that wasn't popular amongst a certain amount of people. It's insane to me. And what does this do to the First Amendment? Does it chill it? Absolutely. I know there's politicians, I know there's candidates right now that are afraid to go to events and who are worried about, are they going to be next? There are political commentators that are worried about, oh my God, I've been popular or I've been controversial from time to time, and they're worried. And I have to say, I'm worried too. I've covered events, I've covered riots, and I've covered protests. The left hate me. You go to Binghamton, you go to Broome County, central New York, they hate my I've gotten lots of death threats of being physically assaulted. And maybe one of those nut jobs tries to track me down in New York City and come after me again. Look, I'm afraid that there will be retaliation for this. Because there are nut jobs on the left and the right and the center and everywhere else. And someone who loved Charlie Kirk, I'm afraid, will say, let me get retribution, and they'll go after someone on the left. And then someone on the left will say, oh my God, tit for tat, we have to go back at them. And suddenly we have Hamas and Israel all over in the United States. And that is a scary thought. I don't want to see that happen. Yes, I want whoever did this, I want them to be caught. And if we have the right person, I want them to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I want them to get the death penalty because the death penalty does work. It is justified in some cases, as this is. But there is no justification on what happened to Charlie Kirk. He talked. That doesn't mean that because you don't like it, you get to kill him. Or anyone else, left or right. I'm very angry about this. I'm very emotional about this. And I'm not normally an emotional guy. I don't do these programs based on emotion. I usually go with fact and logic. But right now, I'm pissed off. And I should be. You should be too. This is a violation of our Constitution, our society, our nation. And I know there's a lot of normies out there, people who don't follow politics, and they don't get it. They don't get what this means. That there are people out there who are willing to kill you to make sure that you don't exercise your free speech, that you don't speak about the things you believe, whatever they are. And that's terrifying to me. That should never be allowed. Yeah, I'm venting a little bit. I'm angry right now. I'm walking my dog, trying to calm down. And I know many of my colleagues, whether political commentators, candidates, elected officials, on all sides of the political spectrum, I know they're scared right now. They're worried right now. I've been talking to them for hours now. Guys, don't be afraid. We can't stop speaking. We can't let the fear take over and stop us. We can't. We have to share our views. We have to have the conversations, the difficult ones. We have to go out and run for elected office because we think that's the right thing to do, that we have the right idea to help America. We have to do that. And we have to remember that not everyone's going to agree with us. And hopefully, we'll hear from people like J.B. Pritzker, who will suddenly realize, he'll wake up and understand, no, the point isn't to say, oh, let's spin this for my political advantage. Let's blame it on Trump, Orange Man bad. Rather than doing some dumb shit like that, how about we do something productive and say, you don't have to agree. You're not required to agree. You're an American citizen. You have freedom. You have the right to choose. And you have the right to say, I don't agree. To say, I want to hear someone else speak, or I want to support some other different idea. That's what you can do. And that's what Americans do on a regular basis. That's why America isn't like any other country in the world. That's why we don't have coups on a regular basis. We don't have civil wars on a regular basis. We don't get that. Because we have conversations. Because we can have conversations. And we should have conversations. Look. I feel bad for Charlie Kirk and his family and his friends, his colleagues in the industry that knew him and worked with him, and those that followed him and those who were inspired by him. And I say, continue to be inspired. Continue to speak up. Continue to say, hey, I need to talk about this. I need to share with you what I think is the right answer. And I don't care if you're a libertarian, if you're third party, if you're a Republican, a conservative, even a Democrat, even the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America. Go ahead. Pitch your idea. Tell people why you think you have the right idea, but don't use violence. Don't ever resort to violence. That's unnecessary. That's counter to everything that America is about. It's against what the First Amendment is about. You know what? Charlie Kirk is a wonderful... Now he's a martyr. He's a martyr that we didn't need to have to say that the First Amendment is... It's the most valuable thing. It's the reason why it's the first. It's the most important tool. And it's the most powerful tool. That's why they had that nut job, whomever that was, shot him. Because they didn't have an argument that was better than what Charlie Kirk could give. They didn't have an answer that was better than the answer Charlie Kirk could give. All they had were a bunch of emotions, a bunch of feelings that weren't substantiated by anything. And they were so afraid, so cowardly, so pitiful that their only answer is, well, I have to use violence. It's a microaggression because I don't agree. How pitiful is that? How pathetic. And anyone who believes that, oh, I don't agree with you, so you must be a bad guy, or I don't agree with you, so you must be microaggression. It makes you an islamophobe, and therefore I get to use violence against you. If you believe anything like that, you're pitiful. Pitiful. Ultimately, utterly pitiful. Pathetic. Because that's not what America's about. That's not what freedom is about. All right. I'm getting more people calling. I have friends I have to console right now because they knew Charlie Kirk, because they've suffered personally in this event. I have candidates. I will leave you with this. Tonight at 8 p.m., there will be a vigil for Charlie Kirk at the Bronx County Supreme Court building. That's at 8 p.m., a vigil for him. That's being done by candidates of the Republican Party, the Conservative Party, and some independent individuals as well. They're all gathering together to say a prayer for the family of Charlie Kirk and to say a prayer for America and the First Amendment. So please join them. But I will be on a little bit later tonight. I expect about 8 p.m. I'll be on live. I know my friend Larry Sharp. I'm pretty sure he's going to be speaking about this, and he's a libertarian, but he has concerns about this. He'll be talking as well. There's going to be a lot. Hopefully between now and then I'll calm down. Remember, if you can make it to the Bronx courthouse at 8 p.m., go to the vigil. If you can't, check me out on the live stream, either Liberty First Foundation, my channel. There's going to be a lot more. All right. Everyone, please be safe. Be calm. Don't be ruled by your emotions. Let's speak. Let's shout. Let's scream. Let's be angry. Let's make sure justice in the legal system holds true. I'll talk to you all again very soon. Very soon. Thank you, guys.